Hello and welcome to CEO Insights. I'm Marilyn de Guzman with Investing News Network. We are at PDAC in Toronto and I'm sitting down with Warren Stanier, President and CEO of Nevada Sunrise, to give us an update on the company's lithium projects in Nevada. Welcome, Warren.
I don't know where to start.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead.
I hear you can't, you have some exciting news to tell, and why don't we just start that?
We're drilling into a very large sedimentary basin, and we've had exceptionally good lithium grades at the Gemini project. I don't usually say I'm excited. I always leave that word out of the news release because it's kind of promotional, but I will say that I'm excited, and I think about it all the time, how this thing could develop, what it could develop into. We don't know how big it is yet, but we know the grades are there, and it's a softer clay, so it's possible that this deposit could be mined with a lower work index. It could even be mined in situ. We're looking at all kinds of, I'm talking to engineers here at PDAC. Hey, and I say, what about this? And I draw them a little sketch. Could we do this? And they're all going, yeah, we could do that, So that's what's exciting is when you're pioneering in an area that nobody ever drilled in before, and you find something, and it's all yours, 100%. There's no other partners. Although I would, like financing partners. We always need that. Yeah. Anyway, that's the excitement.
Right. So tell us where you are. So you're in Nevada. Tell us about the landscape.
The landscape is basin and range. That's what they call it. So you have a mountain range, and then you have a flat basin. You have another mountain range. So we are near the little town of Gold Point, population 7. There are no gas stations except the guy that sells gas out of a tank that he's got. He has little cabins that we rent for our geologists. So we're in Esmeralda County, Nevada, which is the most thinly populated county in the United States. There's only 700 residents in this huge area. And it's because it's all desert. So there's not much to do, except walk around and look at sagebrush. And I don't see birds, I don't see squirrels, you don't see anything. But it is beautiful. It has a serenity about it. So we got this property in 2016. We found something on the internet, a tiny little abstract, a thumbnail from what's called an abstract when a professor does a paper.
Yes. And
we're looking at it, wow, that's a geophysical feature that we like. And he had done work there, so we staked it. And then he's Dr. John Aldo. He was at the University of Texas, and he's rejoined us because lithium has gone through cycles. We've gone into now an upcycle, and which is fantastic because we kept this property alive during the downtime, and we kept our permit alive, but we had never drilled it. And we gained, at one point we had given up 50% of Gemini to another company. We regained that, we're back to 100, no royalties. So last March, we started drilling. We're at 5.5 cents. Basically, it's ho-hum from the market, Even though lithium was starting to run, obviously it was. And then we started getting our results back. And we could hardly believe what we were seeing. So
where does that take you then? What's the next steps then for that project?
We have to drill and drill and drill. These holes in this soft clay, they take longer, and that's the frustrating thing. You want things to go faster. If we had 2 drills, if we could work 24 hours a day, but the reality is the way the crews work in Nevada, they work 10 days on, 4 days off. And in that 4 days off, sometimes it's hard to restart the hole because when we're at depth over, say, 1,500 feet, and the drill has trouble getting back down, they kind of pull up a bit, and then they come back 4 days later, and it's like, yeah, well, we're trying to get down again, and and it would restart. So the deepest we have drilled is 1,950 feet, which is pretty deep. I'm not sure what we can do to maybe we get even a bigger drill, but we want to test this basin. Literally, it's shaped like a cereal bowl, and we haven't hit the bottom of it yet. We've only hit one hole has hit the side of it, the side of the bowl, at 1,600 feet or so. So there's a lot of clay, and there's a lot of lithium in the clay. So we're getting grades that are averaging over 1,000 ppm, parts per million. We're also getting water, brine, that's carrying lithium. in these little zones of water, they might be 10, 20. We had 100 feet of a zone of 100 feet averaging 116 milligrams per liter lithium, which is a decent result. Now we're getting in the 200s. We've just released that. So, and last year we had some 500 milligrams per liter. Those are good numbers for lithium in water.
Right.
Yeah.
So Nevada is a vast mining district. Like there are other projects going on there. So what makes this different than the other projects in the area?
Well, you've got some big clay deposits like Thacker Pass. That's Lithium Americas. It's got huge support from the U.S. government, from other industry. Every time I pick up, the northern miners, someone's throwing $100 million at them or more, to develop their deposit. What is different? I think the volume that we have could be very, very large, but we have to prove that. We have to keep drilling holes, create a resource estimate from the information that we gather. So it's going to be a process that will take a year or more. But for the first year, I think we've done incredibly well. We're on our 5th hole now. And like I said, it's exciting.
That's great. So you have a combination of clay and water, right? As Gemini.
That's right.
So what's your plan for processing those?
That's a good question, because all the clay deposits have challenges in the metallurgy. And we don't know exactly what Lithium Americas is, how they're going to get their lithium out of this clay at Thacker Pass, or the other one is American Lithium, what they call their TLC project. People keep their cards close to their chest. You read a sentence about how they're going to do it, maybe, but we have to see the results. But we have a metallurgist working with us. This gentleman, to my mind, he's a genius. He has 106 patents, and he just applied for a new one. And we're fast tracking that, and it could be the solution, no pun intended, to take lithium out of clays that other people maybe are struggling with. We don't know how much they're struggling and how feasible their deposits actually are. But if he's right with his new patent, it could really change the extraction from clay of the lithium.
That's exciting. It just goes to show how technology really has gone a long way in the mining industry, right?
And the creativity of people. And that's where Willem Diveston, I always have to think about his name. I rhyme it with Galveston, So Diveston, he's just a very accomplished man. And he sent me an email in the fall and said, I'd like to talk to you about your project. And I'm like, okay. And then I realized who I was dealing with, and he could be the key to everything for us. All his knowledge and experience of extracting minerals from ores, he's applying to us right now. He has other clients as well, but he's got a great mind. I'm very pleased that he's with us.
So Nevada Sunrise, right now you're exploring, right? But what's your strategy in terms of how far you take a project?
Well, again, it's a resource estimate. Until you can put these numbers down on paper and an engineer says, here it is, ding, you just don't have anything really to talk about except the hole and grades. So you've got to tie it together, and we don't know exactly how many holes we need yet. We're just exploring that now. We're trying to complete a pattern of holes that would give us a square, much like this piece of paper, or some kind of a polygon, and then what's inside that polygon that we know. That's the game right now. That's what we're doing. And it's just going to take more time. Once we get the estimate, I think there'll be people knocking on our door. I mean, there already is. We have major companies contacting us, people that people that are here incognito.
Yes, that's good. So if you're talking to an investor right now, with all the things that you know about your project, why should an investor be looking at Nevada Sunrise at this moment?
Because I think we're undervalued. I think that people like American Lithium, their share price is over $4. They have a resource estimate. They have a plan. We're just getting to that. So we're not there yet. But when we do, we have a feasibility study in the future, assuming that our drilling goes well and we can finance and do all the things we need to do. I'm not going to make a price projection, but we're just under 25 cents Canadian, and these other companies are billion-dollar companies now. So there's a lot of blue sky potential for Nevada Sunrise right now.
Sounds great. Well, thank you for sharing that exciting news.
I'm excited, so I can say that.
I can see that. Yeah. And so we're looking forward to having you again once you've had some more, more additional news to share.
There will be a news flow. It's just
Yes.
a bit slower than I would like, but it is coming.
It'll come. Yeah. Well, thanks again for coming today.
Thanks, Marilyn.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. Join us again next time for another engaging conversation on CEO Insights.